Thank you for everything you do. I'm so grateful to your teachings.
Yeah.
I've been listening to you for a long, long time, since the 90s. But I only just discovered recently that knowing about what you're teaching us and doing it were two different things. So, yeah. So I've been doing it a lot more. Oh yeah, I know about law of attraction. Here, I can explain it to you. But then I realized I wasn't doing it. So I've been starting to do it and really pay attention.
Well, the good news is law of attraction does it to you. It's not like you can say, I think I'll just turn law of attraction off for a while.
Just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean it doesn't
Get what you
exist,
think about,
right?
whether you want it or not.
Where was I going with that? Oh, contrast. So I'm learning to love contrast. Like, it's so soothing to realize, oh, this is just not where I want to be.
Well, when you think about it, we like knowing that you're there. We want to just add something that will emphasize it even more. You know how satisfying a wonderful solution is, or a wonderful idea, or a great answer to something. Well, there can be no great solutions or answers if there isn't a great question. And so life is about creating the question which sets the desire in motion, so that you can then align with the desire, so that you can feel the satisfaction of having done that. Now, to some that feels a little futile. Oh, so I make a problem so I can solve it. Is that what you're saying, Abraham? Yes, that's what we're saying. Life causes you to come up with new questions and new desires, and once you get the rhythm of this, then you get the fun of all the cooperative components playing with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was playing really well last month. I'm in sales, and I had the best month I've ever had in 10 years because I was in the vortex, and I brought other people in the vortex, and their lives are changing, and it was fun. So my question about that is, I was in my vortex, and I created things that I know I created, people that came in, and I sold to them because I was supposed to. But other people in my environment didn't like that. So how do you maintain your vortex? And because I'm very empathic.
This is what we were talking about earlier. You are a wonderful representative of what we were just saying about most people, that if you care about how they feel rather than about your satisfaction factor, then you get all out of whack. Because first of all, they're fickle. They want different things from you. They're not very consistent about what they're asking from you, so there's no consistency. But most important, you cannot modify your behavior enough to give them satisfaction. Hear this. Satisfaction is our favorite new term to help you to feel the getting ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. And satisfaction is our favorite new term to help you understand what living happily ever after is. So satisfaction cannot occur unless you are holding the desire that you are allowing. That is the only place that satisfaction will come. Therefore, nothing that you could do behavior-wise could ever really give anybody else satisfaction. You could appease them maybe. You could maybe make their life not so terrible. If their back aches, you could maybe rub it. But you cannot provide satisfaction for anyone else. But you could teach through the clarity of your example. You could demonstrate that you don't get down no matter what, that you feel good no matter how the sales look. You could demonstrate that it always turns out right for you, so you just enjoy yourself along the way. You can demonstrate a stress-free life because you're not counting on your action to make things happen. You could demonstrate a stress-free life because you're not trying to use action to compensate for energy that you didn't flow. You can demonstrate you're living happily ever after, and some of them might say, what's with you? Why is it all turning out good for you? And you say, I don't want to seem trite, and I don't want to seem like I don't see this as a serious question, but I just don't worry about it as much as you do. Somehow along the way, I found some trust. And yes, maybe once a cell went through, I trusted a little more. And maybe once another cell went through, I trusted a little more. So I got the pump primed, and now I expect it to come, and so it just keeps coming. There might be some of that. But I really have to say that there was a time the cells weren't coming. And I primed the pump by knowing that they would come and feeling good about that even before they came. I found a way of feeling good anyway. That's what you want to explain to them. I felt good anyway. I felt good anyway. I never let what had happened let me down. Somehow I was able to separate what has happened, which is old news, to what's happening, which is now news. And I'm not interested in the old news, the old trophies, the old statistics, the old stuff. I'm only interested in now, 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 now. How good can I feel now? What thoughts can I feel now? So I can think, oh, this is a slow month. That doesn't feel good. Or I can think, things are picking up. That feels better. Or I can think, I'm not good at this. That feels awful. Or I'm really pretty good at this. That feels good. You know, I even said that when I wasn't very good at it. I knew I was getting better and better and better. In other words, just sort of tell them what your experience has been and understand that your job is not to satisfy them and make them feel better. Your job is to hold yourself in alignment, and if it helps them, good, and if it doesn't, good. Hold yourself in alignment because it'll help you, and if it helps them, good, and if it doesn't, that's just fine. Because they'll find someone that matches them. And if they're really complaining, of course they're not going to be happy with you. There's nothing worse than to be all down and despondent and discouraged and to meet some bright, happy, successful person. It's just the worst. But their inner being is going to stand there as that energy. And they might as well get used to some of it through you. Because if they don't find a way to make peace with your happiness, they're never going to find a way to make peace with their inner being who's always happy. You might want to say to them, if you really want to get their attention, you know, I never could understand why it bothers someone when someone wins. I've never thought of a teeny little finite pie. I think the pie is big enough for all of us. I think there's enough to go around for all of us. By my success, I'm not taking away anybody else's success. The market is way bigger than that. The playing field is way bigger than that. You're pinching yourself off, man, with your jealousy. Now, they're not going to want to hear it, and they're not going to hear it, and you're not going to be in the vortex anymore after you say it either.
I've done that before. True. So this is what it feels like. It feels like my best manifestations have come when I didn't even know, law of attraction was operating. I saw someone post something online a few years ago. It was a beautiful tree, and I thought, oh, I love that tree. And she had just moved into this community. I said, I want to live in a place like that. And I let it go. I never thought about it again. Several months later, my sister took me to a home to look at. It was that community. I now live in that community. I didn't even know that that's what I wanted, and I created it, but I didn't focus on it. Thank you, thank you. I didn't focus on it. I wasn't trying every day. I wasn't, I'm really trying right now to get back in the vortex.
There are a lot of people who are creating by default, which means they're not paying attention to how they feel, and they don't know what how they feel means anyway. And so when they don't feel so good about something, that's how it keeps turning out. And when they feel better about something, that's how it keeps turning out. But it is so much more delicious to have hands in the clay, to know exactly what this feeling's going to net and what this feeling's going to net. And to strive for a feeling that feels better and then watch how it plays out. We love saying to you that if you meditate on Monday, it's probably not going to make any major change in your life experience. You might find a little satisfaction, especially if it's one of the first times that you have, but there's not going to be any big momentum that comes from that. And so meditate and get out in the world, and it's going to be pretty much like it was yesterday. But when you meditate on Tuesday, it's probably going to be pretty much like it was on Monday. And when you meditate on Thursday, your day out in the world is going to be pretty much like it was on Monday and Tuesday. But by the time you get to Friday or Saturday or Sunday, the edge is going to be off of you. You're going to find yourself not so edgy. People that have been consistently saying annoying things to you are still going to say the same annoying things. You're just not going to take it the same way. You're going to see them different because you're different, because you've got different momentum. And when you start noticing that happening, then you'll start feeling more balance and rhythm in your life. You talked about getting into the vortex, and we are no longer saying to you, get into the vortex. Instead, we're saying to you, the vortex is right here full of all the stuff you want. Stand in a place where you can receive what's in there. Let the vibrational contents of the vortex come into your deciphering, discerning, translating, receiving experience. So that's what we mean by those emotions that you receive, and then those thoughts that you receive and act on. Some years ago, Esther was booking tickets for several flights, and Jerry was teasing her because she kept putting it off. She just didn't feel like doing it. And he would say, you know, the tickets are going to become more scarce and they're going to become more expensive the longer you wait. He was using motivation tactics, which made Esther say, I know, but it just locked her up more and more and more and more, because it didn't inspire to action. It made her ashamed of her past behavior. And so every day she'd get up thinking she was going to do it, and every day there was too much resistance for her to break through. And then one day she'd meditated and she was feeling good, and they'd taken a walk, and all of a sudden she got an impulse to go. And she called the airline. That was many years ago. Instead of getting online, she called the airline, and she had about 10 different cities that she wanted to book. And the woman said, boy, is this your lucky day? These flights were not there half an hour ago. I don't know where they came from. And so Esther's inspiration had led her to something that wasn't there. Your motivation will cause you to rendezvous with different things than your inspiration will, you see.
I love it.
Yeah.
One very, very quick question. I wake up in the morning, every morning, and there's songs in my head. Who is that? What is that? Where is it coming from? I mean, every single day, all day long, starting from when I wake up.
Here's the answer to that, and you're all going to like it. You know how we talked about how when you have a desire, even if you are in a resistant mode, in other words, your desire is causing you pain, still your desire is alive and pulsating, and it's still being answered. And then a bird brings you a message because it's something that you can see with your eyes. It's hard to miss the fact that the bird's sitting where it shouldn't sit, or closer than it usually is, or has its attention on you and seems to be speaking something directly to you, even though you're trying to get it to go away. One day a bird was on the chimney of Esther's guest house, and her daughter was there, and her daughter was trying to get some work done that she didn't want to do. They were on vacation and she was working, and she was annoyed about it. And she actually went out and threw rocks at the bird. Just little pebbles. But the happy bird was just annoying to her. It was chirping right down the chimney. She just wanted it to go away. Sometimes you're not in the receptive mode, but it doesn't mean that the bird isn't there. The revelation is always there for you. It's the reception that you want to be aware of. And so when you are in the receptive mode, you remember earlier we were talking about how your inner being knows where you are in relationship to everything you want. And here's the answer to your question. And knows your path, because you're the one that puts all the resistance on the path. There's no other resistance. There's no other path than the path that you've created for yourself, and there's nobody else putting resistance on your path. You're putting it all on. So your inner being knows where you stand right now in relationship to everything you want. And further, your inner being knows what your path of least resistance is. And very often, your inner being will offer the vibration that you translate into a song. Listen to it. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to the feeling of it most of all. And once you've got the feeling isolated, once you have calibrated yourself into the feeling of it, very often the thought that song means to you will come into your mind. That is a really wonderful vibration turning to a thought, and a thought turning to a thing.
So it's a message then?
Yeah.
Oh. But I try to...
But you see, this is the important thing. This is what we want you to hear. The messages are there all the time. The answer is, can you hear them? And the answer to that question is no, so I'm having to translate a damn song. But when a song keeps coming and coming and coming and coming, or the birds keep showing up and showing up and showing and showing up and showing up, stop and say, all right, what is it that I've been asking about? Because there's something here, and don't try too hard. But meditation will help you to know what that song's about. You'll get so a song will come right into your mind and you'll know it.